Hello everyone, welcome back to another market review. So I'll be going over the day today and the trade I took. I took a sell. It was a loss, but that's fine because I followed my plan and I followed my rules exactly how I laid them out. So that's a win in of itself. I can show you here. It was minus $150 on my funded account, but I already took a payout, so this is like close to being blown. I only have like $100 left to risk. That's fine. This was always supposed to be just like a flip account. I already got the payout, so I'm already happy. And then took a like an $1,020 loss on the verification phase on the FTMO account. That's fine. So I'll be going over the trade. Overall, on this weekly, I'm still looking for lower prices with that previous quarter high SMT still intact. Tapping into that change in state of delivery and showing some rejection from it. On the daily chart, we know that we hit this daily liquidity and tapped back into that gap and showed heavy rejection from there. So I still believe that we're moving from internal range liquidity down to external range liquidity. This isn't previous weekly low anymore. Sorry, this is just ERL, external range liquidity. So yeah, from that reaction from this gap again, I'm expecting lower prices and for price to take out these swing lows. When we go to the 6-hour chart, we also had, let me see, at the start of the week we had a previous week low SMT and then price drove higher and we created a previous week high SMT. And since then, price has displaced lower, confirming that. And so yeah, we have basically a previous week high SMT on our side, which is kind of what we like to see going into the session. And then looking at the 90-minute chart, with yesterday's displacement, this is the range we're in. We can see that price overnight tapped into this gap. Tapped into this gap and then moved away from it. And at the start of the session, we were like down here. But we have this previous day high also aiding us as in our framework on the 90-minute chart. So overall, everything was pointing for bearish price action today. And so I was looking for low time frame SMTs to enter on. On the 15-minute chart, however, let me see. Okay, on the previous session, we closed below the previous session low, which shows more signs of bearishness. However, we didn't have a previous session high SMT because it was quite far away. So all I was expecting was a 5-minute SMT. And if you see here, this is the 90-minute chart. And we created a 5-minute SMT that I'll show you right now. But we also tapped into this 90-minute fair value gap, which is a pretty good confluence because normally, price moves from internal range liquidity, like from gaps, to external range liquidity. So an SMT happening at this point is a kind of a good place to look for sells. Another thing to keep in mind is that I know this is volume profile, but yesterday, this is the volume profile of the day before, and we were creating a previous day high SMT and we were tapping into this high volume node right here inside the 90-minute gap. So that's also an area of interest where we want to see price move lower from. And this is my entry. So this gray box is the 90-minute fair value gap, and NQ and ES closed above while YM failed to. It didn't even take out the 90-minute high. And then we had a really nice strong push to the downside and a change in the state of delivery, which was my entry. Overall, the trade was quickly a loss here. entered here, and then within 10 minutes it stopped out. As you can see, price kind of just meandered around here, chopped around for a while. Now it seems like we're seeing, my idea starting to play out, which, sometimes that's just how it goes. Can't be a part of everything. All you can make sure is that you're following your plan, you're executing to how your strategy says you should execute, and that's a win in of itself. So yeah, that was it. In terms of going into Monday, it seems that this 90-minute gap is in fact supporting price lower, and yeah, I'll just probably be looking for more downside here to these lows, to this low as well, and ultimately that ERL on the daily. Yeah, so that was it. This was also the last day of the month for February, because over the weekend we're going to go into March. So looking at the results, these are my results for February. It's still pretty good. I know that I started my verification phase of the FTMO and my first trade was a loss. A bit annoying, but you have to always look at kind of like your overall equity curve. How does it look? And this is still looking, pretty healthy. Still a nice 4.7% in February. Strategy at a 72% win rate. Yeah, pretty nice. Don't know why this is like that. Is this right? Huh. I have to check that. My bad. So yeah, overall, the equity curve is still looking good. It was a good month for February, and yeah, and that's even though I took a trade today and it was a loss, and the idea seems to be playing out. That's all you can do, really. All you can do is follow your rules, follow your plan, execute, and if you do all of that, that's a green day in terms of building good habits in trading. So overall, I'm pleased with today. I'm pleased with this month, and yeah, let's go into Monday and March. Go into it strong, and yeah, I'll see you on Monday. Thank you. See ya.